Well, hey guys, Amy from Colorado Mountain Living, and I got to get to a chore today that I've been procrastinating on. See behind me those beehives? I haven't touched them since before we went to Idaho, and well, that's the wrong thing to do in the summer. You don't want to leave your bees alone for too long because you don't know what's going on in those hives. So I'm a little bit scared to look today, but it's got to be done. I know there's a lot of activity. I can see them at the entrance and all the hives. I'm pretty sure that I left my top feeders in too long, so I think there's going to be comb built up in there. I'm expecting a few messy situations, but fingers crossed that I'm actually going to see some honey because it's been a beautiful summer. The most wildflowers we've ever had, and the bees are just buzzing and buzzing, buzzing. Every flower I look at, I find a bee. So we know that this is definitely a season for honey. So let's go take a look. So the feeder that's in here is very heavy, and I think that means that there's honeycomb on the bottom of this feeder. Well, it's kind of a mess for sure. Larva, drone brood. The good thing is this drone brood is kind of like a little bit of a mite control. So I'm going to do with this hive, I'm going to see how much is in the bottom, and if there's not any comb in the bottom of the box, then I'm going to flip them. I'm going to put that one on top. So my conclusion on hive 1 is that it's completely filled all the way. So I'm going to put in one more super, and so they have more room to expand. I'm just glad that they haven't swarmed yet. So I have a little bit of a problem. I don't have any more supers. So I got to rob from Peter to pay Paul here. I've got a couple of empty supers that have those feeders in them. So I'm going to use that for now until I clean out the comb on the bottom of that feeder. I have plenty of frames. I just don't have the feeder, the boxes. So all done. Another full layer for those bees, and now they got room to expand. So I knew that was going to be a lot of work, but a lot of honey in that hive. All right, well, I'm skipping around a bit. Going to go to hive 3 next since I got the cover off already. This hive isn't very strong. It's not a very strong hive. Well, there's some nectar in here, so it's not an empty hive. It's just not filled with bees. And so We're getting some stuff. It's definitely better than being dry. I hate a dry hive. The brood nest is decent. I don't see a terrible laying pattern. It's not that spotty. I haven't seen the queen yet, but I just somehow this hive doesn't have the numbers. This doesn't seem to be bringing in the same amount of food as the other hive. You know, hive 1 is really powering away, filled to the brims with honey, and this hive doesn't have much. But apparently the queen's still laying because there's a brood nest. And nothing really on this comb. I mean, not much for honey. And oddly, the hive really wasn't taking in a lot of syrup either, so I don't know. That's the one to keep an eye on. That's that hive. They still got room to expand, so they're not going to even miss their super that I took off. This one I had put on a new super last time I checked it. So I took the feeder off and put the super in, so let's see how they're doing. These on all the frames. So I guess we're good on this hive for now. They haven't filled it out all the way. So they're at a good level. They were at a good level. They got an addition. And probably these guys might need a little bit more room in a week. So I'll use that last super for that. Phew! All right, not as bad as I expected. But definitely couldn't have waited any more days because, gosh, they were getting packed. Question is cleanup. And I might be able to steal some of that honey. All right, I salvaged a little bit of this honey, so might try it out. All right, so I got a little sample of the honey, and I can't wait to try it. But this is a crush and strain method, so I don't have any equipment. I found loose comb, so I'm just gonna be crushing this honeycomb into a strainer and then taking the honey into the container, maybe putting it in a little jar if I have enough. So this is kind of fun. It gets a little bit messy, but this honey it's been out in the sun, so the wax is really hot, actually, and melty a little bit, and the honey is like so liquidy. Now, technically, if you don't have capped honeycomb, you have unripe honey. So they haven't removed all the moisture yet. So this is not the kind of honey you would try to sell at a market because it's not all the way ripe, and it could, or to ferment actually. It's not gonna mold, it would more likely ferment. All right, liquidy honey. Wow, it's incredible. So it was really exciting to see hive 1, even though they were so overloaded in there, it was completely filled with honey. When I was peeking into the other supers and the other boxes, the hive boxes, it was just wall to wall with honey. I'm just so surprised that they haven't swarmed. But I put another super on, so that means there's more room for them to expand even more if they need to. I am so excited. This has been the best honey year. I mean, 4 years doing bees up here, and I really haven't collected that much honey, just haven't really been able to, but I think hive 1 we're going to be able to get 40 pounds out of it because it's very full. Might be able to get 100. All right, now it's definitely a different taste than I've ever tasted before with honey. I don't know how to describe it. Floral? It's kind of spicy, actually. Perfect size jar and everything. There it is, guys. The first jar of honey this summer. Woo! And hopefully it's just gonna get better from here. So you got lots of rain coupled with lots of sunshine and lots of flowers, and you get lots of honey. All right, guys, we'll keep you posted, and maybe we can come up with a good recipe for this honey.